That's just so I can... Yeah. Oh, no hat.
You don't want anything to get out. People might see your head.
There we go. I mean, it matches the llama look.
Is that made from llamas?
Alpaca? I think so, but I think it's a pretty low-grade alpaca.
Soft.
Yeah.
Super soft. That's nice. That feels like as soft as a llama is.
I'm opening a... Oh, wait. So, that's going. Is that thing? Yeah, that's
it's going, yeah. It's going.
Arizona is a wildly beautiful place, brimming with over 100 brewing companies. I'm Rob Fulmer, the Executive Director of the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild. I'm joined by Deputy Director Andrew Bauman. Together we cover the state, bringing you the best of what's happening at our breweries and beyond. Welcome to Arizona Beer Frontier. There we go.
Great.
That hurt my ears.
I am so excited about our new setup here. This is so cool.
I know. There might be a couple tweaks. We might rotate a little bit.
When guests come, there's stuff.
Push out. I don't know. Maybe we should get wheels for this.
That's locking wheels is not a bad idea, but it would take some cutting off of. Hey, Rob.
Andrew Bauman.
How you doing today?
I'm all right.
Great. Welcome to the first podcast of 2023 after Beer Week.
How was I going to qualify this?
Yeah, after Beer Week.
Yes, it's like our year begins.
Again. Begin again.
This is my favorite thing to say, like right after an event. The campaign for this event starts next year. Starts now.
I have already been thinking about strong beer, and I have a pretty long list of recap for our meeting on Thursday.
Great. So I listened to a couple of recaps, and the one that I would point to right now, because I think there's still some out there, is the Happy Craftsman. They led you to believe for an hour they were going to say some things that were negative at the very end, and I'm like, I don't even think they really came up with a lot. It was all good. And the nice thing was they interviewed a bunch of our members, and they said nice things about the festival, and as an event person, you have to discount all the things about the weather, because obviously that has nothing to do with us, but it's 80% of a good experience, right?
Oh man, we did have people with a high of 73 requesting, or one of the biggest comments we got was, should have had misters.
This is where we're at in this state.
73 is misters. 68 degrees is heaters. It's a 5-degree perfect window.
Stay out of the sun. Wear a hat.
Yeah, I do get shade and stuff like that. So, things to address. Don't just blow it off. But yeah.
We're going to have to reevaluate the Pepsi deck, only because it was so popular, and I think we're going to get slammed. I think it was pleasantly attended, but we might get overwhelmed. So we're going to have to look at that. Everybody enjoyed the hell out of that.
Yeah, it was a great event.
Yeah.
I'm glad, too, because, I've been hyping it up, and I had such high hopes for it. If it had ended up being like a yawner or whatever. And you know what part of it is that they were expecting 500 people for that baseball game, and they got 4,000.
Get out. Oh,
yes.
Because the U of A traveled, and Tennessee had people travel.
Tons of people there. And
I don't think we're going to get... I think that's partially Super Bowl. We'll drive. We'll travel.
So that's why it was so surprising that
they
were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we might end up being on the grassy section at some point, if that's going to... trend will continue.
Yeah, if they can sell that deck for cash money, they should.
Yeah.
Because they already do so much.
I don't even know who won that game. Arizona versus Tennessee. I'm not even going to look it up. because in my mind, it was special enough to be have had 2-1, and me just going, I'm out. Checked all the boxes, talked to all the people, all that stuff.
Well, it was 7:00. Our breweries were all done with doing their sampling, and it was time to go. So we had a big day the next day.
I went out, as you know.
Oh yeah, I know.
I went to the Quail launch of Beer Week at the Vanilla Grilla, and I've been there during the day, and let me tell you, at night it's a little bit different. It was pretty well attended. They were launching Dark Sky, or announcing Dark Sky. I think they already killed 2 kegs by the time I got there, and they had some other out-of-state stuff going on. But I don't think we've talked about Scott Hendricks on the show or Sean Hillman, but they were super happy that I showed up.
We should get them on the show.
Yeah, we should. They have a particularly different take on supporting local than I've heard from the other breweries, or the distributors. But I mean, nothing secret. But it just comes across differently when each of the distributors have somebody who can really explain their focus. So that's a thing that we could do. But that was fun. It was fun. What I missed, and I knew about it, I just forgot. Like, they usually do what's that, Pictionary? Wednesday.
Oh.
Like, right before unofficial, a bunch of beer reps they do that Bowlers on Southern.
I don't know these things.
Yeah,
I was never a beer rep, and I was never in this side. I was always a brewer who was just getting ready to do the event. Yeah.
So, I mean, easy choice after we have our thing is to find, another kickoff event. So Thursday.
Yeah.
Friday. No, that was Friday.
That was Friday. I went to...
Did you do anything on Thursday? I don't remember if I did.
I'm sure I did. I have to look up in Google timeline. I did something every day.
Well, we're in the here and now.
I was doing trivia Thursday.
Oh, okay. Okay. You had Arizona beer trivia.
Yeah, but
I'm looking at my photos.
At Taproom 120, they had the Oregon Trail.
Oh, I went to that. I went there that late. It's my squeaky mouse. I went to that super late.
Yeah.
And they were still there.
Right, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How was it?
Well, there was no event. It was over.
It was over.
It was just a bunch of industry people shooting the shit. I met some of the folks over at Belching Beaver. Do you remember Christine Bradley?
Yeah.
She is now at the tippy top of the region here for Deschutes.
Yeah.
So that's
Deschutes
cool.
and Boneyard, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, Billy and Shiner and I don't know.
Yeah. So that was the let's see. They started at Shiner and went to Deschutes, right?
Yeah, and then all the
other breweries on the way.
Yeah, it's a good concept. They had cards. There was some gamification. I don't know.
Yeah, they rolled dice to decide which card it was, and everyone died of dysentery like 85 times.
Yeah. So our event, I don't know how much we need to say about Strong Beer. Do you need to really talk about it? I think everyone had a good time. We have some things on our checklist, some things that wouldn't be obvious to people. There's some obvious things that we need to address. It's going to be busier next year, so we need to expand, and we have the room to do it, and we have the staff to do it, so I'm not concerned about any of that. So just got to have good weather again. That would be nice.
Basically, half of the expansion part is going to be easy, and it's going to be cool. Though it's going to be different having it L-shaped instead of being just a straight giant rectangle.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out.
Going to be some things to address with that.
Yeah.
Huh.
We have a good team.
Yeah,
they'll figure it out.
It'll be amazing. Okay, so what else?
Sunday. Did you go Sunday? Sunday we had a brunch.
Yeah. We had the morning for Super VIP Sunday.
And there's a whole show on that, so we don't have to.
There's a whole show on that. And that was amazing.
It was a partnership with Phoenix Magazine, and there's a nice little pull quote they pulled out of there that got the attention of one of our board members about why we do festivals. Maybe I'll throw it in here if I can. But essentially, it's like your ticket pays for our lobbying efforts and our salaries and our events and other things to keep breweries connected. And so, we talked about something that happened 9 years ago, but there are little victories all the time, and we're working on one right now, and I think it could be significant.
Again, we have some of the best brewery laws in the country, and I like to keep it that way. We've been the first bill that I ran over 9 years ago. We lost, but we ended up winning because we got more the second time around. And the second time around, we got the ability for small breweries to sell each other's beer up to 20%. So, I can't tell you how many breweries say, "Oh, we'll be fine, and we don't need to do that." And then when they start up or they open a new location, then they're short of beer. They're like, "This is so cool." And then the collaboration stuff. It used to be when you collaborated with somebody, you could only serve at the brewery that it was made at. All those collaborations couldn't be poured at other places. So those are the small things that we chip away at. And so again, thank you. Your ticket pays for all that.
Our bill that includes a host of other things, which would simplify the number of times that brewers have to do state income tax, not income tax, luxury tax, production tax for the state, is reduced from monthly to annually. And then the ability for breweries to file for a permit to do sales commensurate with things like farmers markets, to be able to do sales, and knowing how savvy our breweries are, they're going to get a lot of pre-sales. They're going to get some of that pre-sale buzz, so they should go in loaded, knowing that half their stock is already spoken for.
And this is to create parity with what the distillers and wineries already have.
Exactly.
They're called festival licenses, which are not the same as special event licenses.
They are. So there's going to be some hybrid models. You will not probably get beer to go at something like Strong Beer. That would be something that I would not support. But there could be some hybrid things. I'm looking at things like there's a group that you can have dinners out in the middle of nowhere, and if they file the consumption part of the special event license, and they wanted to send you home with something, that's a whole different animal. I think that would work. Or some of these collaborations, sometimes maybe they want to triangulate an area to sell between the two breweries if they're working across the state, something like that. I think there's going to be some fun things, and as the guild, I'm sure we'll help organize a few. We might be the instigators of getting some seasonal things together, to pull. So first of all, celebrate that victory, and also to raise some funds and awareness and generate some sales. So
yeah, I mean, it'd be amazing if we could do a Christmas mix pack.
Yeah,
and somehow this was able to be handled through breweries that put it together.
Exactly. So it is through the House. It has been transmitted to the Senate. It passed 60-0. I've never seen a liquor bill pass 60-0, because there are a couple people who historically vote no on every liquor bill, and they're back in the House. So we'll see.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, super happy about that. So got a ways to go. It's not going to be on the calendar this week, so maybe next week there might be something. So that's why we do the festivals.
Yeah.
To get all that fun stuff. So I'm super glad we did that super VIP podcast with Phoenix Magazine, and
the breweries that were there had a great time too.
Yeah, and for Drew's wife Kim from Uncle Bear's to just run up there and talk about the community, and made me a little bit weepy. I'm glad I wasn't up there for that. I could just go in the background and kind of play with my contact lens or something, So that was cool.
Disc Golf Monday.
Yeah.
Sierra Nevada Disc Golf. Favorite industry event.
Yeah, it's I'll throw some photos up, but it's more about the camaraderie than anything else. And it's if we're talking about Beer Week events, it's if you get competing interests in the industry together to do something fun, to have some beer, all Sierra Nevada, we're all Sierra Nevada drinkers that day. I think we all have a firm respect for their brands, but that may be the only day that some people drink Sierra Nevada. and they do so with gusto, if I can use that word.
That's true.
So, we flung the disc, we talked to people.
I personally had the best score I've ever had at a disc golf event.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it was, but I'm sure it was better than any other one.
Yeah.
I took it slow and steady. Just go forward. Don't make these big curves out of bounds. Just throw that disc out there straight and get it to the thing. What is it called? Cage?
Sure.
Chains? Get it to the chains.
Goal? Hole? I don't know. Yeah.
And then the rest of the week happened.
Yeah.
I ended up in Tucson for the craft beer crawl on Saturday, where we had, must have been at least 15 Arizona breweries participating.
How was the weather?
Gorgeous. Perfect.
Yeah. Jacket weather?
It's very, for me, yeah. I mean, I don't like anything under 75, so.
Yeah. I went to Flagstaff for the ABV dinner. So
I saw some pictures of that. Nice.
It's Arizona Breweries Supporting Veterans. Something like that. ABV. Not alcohol by volume, or maybe that's the play on it. But it's an event that has been going on. It hasn't occurred for 3 years. It's going on since 2015. Mm-hmm. This would have been my third one. It is... so every brewery has a course, and there's a distillery there that has a course, and there's a meadery that has a course. So it's like 11 courses. Of tiny plates, and various restaurants, and sometimes, a place like Lumberyard, Beaver Street will do the entire program. They'll do the small sample glass and pairings, and they're all just wonderful, delicious. Cool. I mean, this year was at the Elks Lodge, which I am a member of that particular lodge, so it was kind of worlds colliding. I have my family. I have my Brenda was there, and Tom and Jill were there. I had my work people, breweries, and my Elk Lodge members.
And your neighborhood.
And we joked because one of the sponsoring organizations was the Peaks, which is a retirement home. Like, yeah, it could be like another couple of years.
Move in there.
Yeah, it's a great event. I don't know how many thousands of dollars they raise every year with this event, but like people really get into it, really look forward to it. They have this raffle. They sell a ton of raffle tickets, so it's a good cause. And
something I haven't seen before.
Yeah, no. It well, again, it hasn't been around for a couple of years, so one of these days I'm gonna have to take the lump, and you can go up there. I think it's worth going to, because like we need to cover Tucson to some degree. Maybe we'll get some help with that. Because I'm glad you went to the pub crawl, because I put a couple licenses on it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure that they got that done. It was particularly difficult to get licenses this year for some reason, so I helped them out with that. I was down at the department 2 or 3 days in a row.
Right. I remember. You always came back with a smile on your face and a cheer in your heart.
Yeah.
Or not.
I got 3 out of 6. I got one more. Yeah. I didn't get the third. The final one, they finally figured out on their own. I was like, I can't do this anymore. But I just like that event because, to me, it's like strong beer is a requirement for a lot of breweries. Not every brewery, but we ask everyone for us to be the focus here. And then the next weekend, I think, is relevant to start something in your hometown or breweries. One thing that I didn't see this year, it might have happened, we just didn't get it on our website, or they didn't communicate it very well, is there used to be a pub crawl in Prescott.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, so that was run by the Barley Hound people.
Yes, I've heard
And
this.
I don't know, with the changes up there, I don't know if that's
still around.
Yeah,
right.
But that'll be a fun thing.
And then downtown Chandler always has the Santan bike crawl.
Yeah, I intercepted that.
Yeah.
I went into the last 2 places, and talk to some of the Santan folks. We also didn't talk about the arm wrestling, women's arm wrestling.
True.
Which they didn't get the weather again this year.
No, they did not.
So
well, it wasn't as bad as they thought it was going to be. Like,
right.
It was predicted to be like 40-mile-an-hour winds the whole time, and it wasn't. So that's great.
So I don't know if I'm giving any away. They're going to move it outside of Beer Week next year. They're going to move it to March because they want to use that an outdoor space like that.
Uh-huh.
So that is usually Wednesday. So that leaves a little bit of a vacuum, and I think
a signature event on Wednesday, and also missing a signature event. Well, yeah,
we're going to have
there's plenty of room for.
Yeah, I just they made that Wednesday event because everybody likes to do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, of course, right?
In pubs and yeah.
So for them to carve that out is spectacular, and this is all the combined efforts of the Pink Boots team, and spearheaded by Billy McGovern and Kristen Drews, and then the current leadership over at Pink Boots this year is Jenna Sarles and Jean Marie Bellington from
Lazy G.
Lazy G. So they'll come up with something, but we really need to retool Arizona Beer Week, I think, next year. So we got some plans we'll talk about down the road. But what are we working on next?
What we're working on now is Baja Beer Fest in Tucson on April 1st.
Yeah.
That's our big push. Got to get a whole lot done on that in the next couple weeks, and we've got some fun breweries signed up and more every day adding to the list, so it's cool.
I'm a little concerned here because I see the time. That's not right, is it?
That's the time that it's been recording.
An hour and 52 minutes? I don't think so.
Doesn't seem right.
No.
Oh no, that says PM.
Interesting.
Yeah. And the light's not red.
I swear I hit it.
Huh.
Well, one of these has some audio.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Awesome. All right. Well, so we're working on Baja.
Yeah. It's going to be at...
You know why? There's no card in there. I know where the card is. It's on my desk.
Cool.
Yeah.
The Baja Beer Fest will be at Armory Park. I went down there last Saturday and walked the park a little bit. So I kind of had a space sense of it, which is cool. I mean, I think what everyone likes about Armory Park is setup is so easy because it's just around the perimeter and you just pull up, put your stuff in, and that's it.
There's a deceiving amount of shade because of those tall, I don't know what they're called.
Right.
They're not trees. They're shrubs, but
the
gigantic,
narrow,
column.
Yeah. I know.
There's a deceiving amount of shade in that park, so that's a bonus. And we're doing it a little earlier, so if you're sitting on your hands, it's really important for us to get this. I mean, by the time this airs, you'll have about 30 days, and we've pushed the envelope on some of these events. This is going to be pushing it.
This is real push, yeah.
So you're going to get barraged, hopefully, with a lot of messaging about Tucson. And it is, as someone who likes to joke about Phoenix versus Tucson, like, I really, really value that festival and our ability to talk about some of the really fun, relevant breweries there, people doing good work in the community, people who I think are ready to break out, and really, start to be a statewide force. And I just think a weekend in Tucson, even if you only visit 2 breweries and you get to eat all the foods and walk the streets, because it's a walkable neighborhood, and you know how much I love that. I think that's super, super important.
Downtown Tucson is very walkable.
Right.
We went to, it was Catalina Brewing's 7th anniversary. We went there. We were a day early, but it was Saturday, and apparently all the festivities were on Sunday.
Mm.
I guess they didn't want to like compete with the craft beer crawl, which makes a lot of sense, right?
Right.
A lot of our target market's already going to be occupied that day. But anyways, I stopped there and had a nice chat with Andrew, the brewer, and then we went over to Button and talked with them a little bit. Then we went to 1912, and they're super excited about, well, they had a great time at Strong Beer, and then also excited about Baja, so that's cool. And then we headed downtown to the crawl, and Dillinger, Bacher, all a bunch of them. Borderlands, Crooked Tooth, Tap and Bottle. So all the owners got to talk, had fun. It was nice.
Yeah. In the meantime, I'm up on my roof shoveling snow off my roof in Flagstaff. And
Well, it's a good thing you had that.
Giant ice craters off.
And all that delicious food the night before to give you energy.
Yeah.
Ice craters.
I thought I was just gonna pass out on my roof. I was so winded. Yeah.
At least there was snow to catch you.
Yeah. That's what I said. I'm gonna fall. As long as I don't fall in the shards of ice that I just knocked off the top of my roof. So yeah. Well, I think we should wrap this up because I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to cobble together the audio.
Well, that's all right. You do your best, and we do have another thing in 4 minutes. So.
Yeah. All right. So let's do that.
All right. Hey, thanks for joining us on Rob Talks About His Snow Roof again.
More technical problems. If it's not video, it's audio. So.